Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of my Tinker Quest chest popping series. I think we're on episode 13, so it's been wow, that's a lot of chest poppings. But yeah, anyways, we're going to be continuing on, same as usual, just like episode 13. I think the next episode though, episode 14, we've been about 6 or 7 episodes in, so should probably see a new thumbnail after this one, which I hope you guys are excited for that one. And yeah, so because the key popping servers are starting to come back a little bit, I've been able to get myself quite a few more marks, especially OTs. I got a lot of them, a lot of woodlands, a lot of D-docks and stuff like that, so I've been able to keep up pretty decently, even in light of 03 and all that stuff. Partly because it's getting hard for us to run 03 consistently due to the fact that we're running out of runes. They say there's still quite a bit left, but no, people just aren't popping them. So that's a problem we're gonna have to deal with later. I also became a raid leader for Oryx 3, so I've been keeping busy with that. But yeah, let's just get right into it. I'm trying to actually get my firstborn fame bonus back, which I believe I have to get 37,000, so I hope I can get it for this episode. And without further ado, let's just get right into it. Again, I don't have a predetermined topic to talk about, really, and I kind of want to talk about something other than like any form of controversial discussion, so maybe I might do some kind of a story time. I guess story time might work in that sense. I wanted to talk a little bit about how Actually, yeah, holy crap, I have no idea what to talk about. I have a bunch of stories I can talk about, but I don't know which one I want to get off the top of my head, because I have quite a bit. I enjoy storytelling, and I guess, yeah, I'm actually not sure what I want to talk about. Oh, by the way, it's thundering outside because we have a storm warning. There's like a flash flood warning coming in, like a tropical storm, which is sort of a mini hurricane. And so if you hear a bunch of lightning, I apologize for that. Yeah, wow, this is the first time I actually legitimately don't know what to talk about. Well, I guess I can sort of... Wow. This is really awkward, guys, I'm sorry, I'm not entirely sure. Normally, stuff comes to me very easily. I'm not the type of person who just does not know what to do in a conversation. I actually have quite a few things I would want to talk about, but I'm trying to do something that isn't as, I guess, discussion related, or more just me talking about random stuff. Shoot. Yeah, I guess it'll take a bit, so I hope you're okay with the rather silent chest popping series for the time being. Actually, I think I might know one. So, I'm a naturally very nostalgic person. I like to look back a lot, and you know, in some cases it actually works against me because I get pretty sad and depressed since in a way I kind of think that my childhood was a lot better than my current, I guess, stage of adulthood. I mean, I'm just entering 21, so I'm not that old. But I really do miss my childhood, I think. And I don't know how many of you guys do. It depends on how you were raised or, you know, how it went. Me personally, I really miss middle school and high school. I know everyone's all like, well, it really depends. People have different childhoods. Some people have a great childhood. Others might, you know, be more on the unfortunate side and have to deal with a lot of struggles and trauma during their childhood. I was fortunately blessed to have a very loving and, I guess, fulfilling life as a kid. Not that I didn't go through my fair share of difficulties in life, I have. I just, I never really had to deal with the majority of things that I feel like some kids are privy to. In a sense, that kind of makes me really naive as a person. But one thing I really started talking to a lot of people about is how wonderful my generation was, at least in terms of when we were kids. As you guys know, I am 21 years old, and so I was born in 1999. I think that makes me a millennial or a Gen Z. No, I'm not a millennial, I'm a Gen Z, I think. This might be an unpopular opinion, but I'd actually believe that I was born in the perfect time. I could not have chosen a better time period to be born in, even though I had no choice in the matter. Because, if you think about it, from 2000 to 2010, we had our fair share of problems and... Wow, that is some really loud rain. We had a fair share of difficulties and our own political problems, and, you know, there was quite a few tragedies that happened during that time, such as, let's say, the 9/11 attacks in the US. So, it's not exactly a super chill time every generation, every decade has their own slew of problems and such, but in terms of culture, and in terms of, I guess, livelihood and lifestyles that we've had as a kid, I really can't think that, I find it hard to believe that that generation now, I think I don't really know what the next generation is, but the kids who are born from 2010 and onwards, or like 2005, I kind of feel bad for them because in the state that we are in right now, society-wise, okay, this is actually getting really deep, but you know what, whatever. Society right now, let's just be real, it kind of sucks. There's a lot of good things that came out of the 2010 to 2020. While 2020 is off to quite an interesting start, that's actually something that isn't the most unfamiliar with that year, because if you guys remember the 20s back in the 19th century, or like 1920 and stuff like that, we had our own problems back then. But especially in, I think, the game and music industries, I'm sorry, but I just genuinely think that 2000 to 2010 was just the golden age of gaming, because that was back in the days of, like, the early days of the internet and early days of social media before everything went to shit, in my opinion. Pardon my French. Also, we had things like the Nintendo, Xbox, and Sony issues. Not really issues, but more like the race that they had. What's in the white bag? What is with me and Tomb Whites? I don't mind, actually, because I could use another Pharaoh's Requiem, but still, that's kind of weird. But yeah. Oh my goodness. The days of GameCube, Xbox 360, PS2, PS3, Nintendo DS, Wii, oh my god. Looking back, that was such a blessed time. That was such a blessed time because, I don't know, games nowadays, it might just be because everyone's older and we have a different and more, I guess, experienced viewpoint on the situations, and back then we weren't as, I guess, our expectations weren't as high when it came to video games back then, but man, something about older games, especially GameCube, like Luigi's Mansion, Kirby Air Ride, Super Smash Bros. Melee, just so many classics. And even in like PlayStation 2 or like Xbox, like Halo 1, oh my goodness. Halo is arguably the... Okay. Halo gives you white bags, apparently. Alright, let's go ahead and see what they are. I don't really have any white bag in particular that I want, so I'm not sure. I'm guessing it's going to be a Nihilist Sphinx. Oh, never mind. Pyramid. Again, Tomb White. Why am I not surprised? The next one's also going to be Tomb White. What? Oh my god, we got back-to-back Ring of the Pyramids. That's actually so good. I mean, it's still Tomb Whites, but... Okay, the luck is coming back. Especially after the previous episode, we didn't get any white bags, I don't think. Right. Anyways, back to the whole topic of just older games. I don't know. It felt like games back then meant a lot more than games now. It seems nowadays that like the only thing that people do is try to find the next super hype game mode. Like, for a time it was League of Legends, so there were just MOBAs everywhere. Or back then it was like MapleStory and RuneScape and World of Warcraft, the three unquittable MMO games. And now then it moved over to like FPSs such as Overwatch, and then to Battle Royales like PUBG and Fortnite. God, Fortnite. Oh my goodness. I don't really have anything against Fortnite, I just, you guys get what I mean, right? Like, before it felt like the only thing that Okay, I'm guessing a pirate hook? What is this? Oh my god, we got the... Oh my goodness. We got two pieces of the Disciple set from chest opening videos. Wow. That means all I need is the Koku, and then I should be able to get the entire Disciple set. Alright, what is the white bag? I can't talk today. I get interrupted in pretty much every single Tinker Quest chest opening video. So many Tomb Whites, oh my goodness. Maybe I might just be looking at it through the bias of nostalgia, but just, I felt like back then developers, they cared more about just making games that were fun and something that they really cared about. Like, you don't really get the same kind of iconic characters and brands like Mario, Kirby, Pokemon, and stuff like that, or Zelda. I haven't really seen any of those quote-unquote timeless names in this day and age. We don't really see that. The only, probably, like, I guess the only most recent example of a timeless legacy would be Steve from Minecraft or like a creeper, but even then, is it just me, or do games nowadays feel like something to exist, or it doesn't have the kind of impact on me as games from back then? Granted, I was a child, and when you're a child, everything's more absorbable. You're very receptive to things, you're more sensitive towards things, and they shape how what you're surrounded by is what helps you grow, and it helps you become the person that you are when you get older. Even so, just something about video games now doesn't give that same kind of profoundness that old games did. I found an ST chest, so I figured I might as well open it and see what we get. Deathless crossbow? Ooh, Staff of Eruption. It's not great, but it's a part of the Mystic set. By the way, even after my sheer amount of deaths on a lot of my characters while running 03, I still have a bunch of Kala swords. Okay, let's wrap this up though. Let me know, guys, what you think, because I don't know the age demographic of my Realm viewers, because I know that there are quite a few young ones there, but also quite a few old ones who've been playing for many, many years. But those of us who have been playing ever since the Wild Shadow days and stuff like that, back in the 2010, 2011, 2012. Anyone else just feel like things had more soul into it? It wasn't just people making games or trying to be the next popular game out there. It was actually just developers with a passion and a purpose with their projects. Not that they don't exist today, but it's just, I think that there's just a lot more clout-driven developers who are just trying to make the next Fortnite, right? And it sucks because they kind of have to, in the sense that if they don't, then they're gonna just, while passion's important and it's better to make the game that you love, you also have to pay the bills, right? And nowadays, it's much harder to make a commercially successful game without doing that. There's only There's only a few exceptions, such as Undertale or Stardew Valley, where indie developers focus on like a kind of passion or a purpose to their project that isn't exactly tied towards just trying to be popular or making huge amounts of money. And it works. But sadly, the reality is that it's not going to happen for all other games. There could be a lot of developers who really want to do something because they want to and not for the money, but ultimately have to close down the game because it's not making ends meet. I believe that's one issue with, I guess, society in this day and age, is that everything feels fake. Everything feels like people are doing it for some reason other than just they really enjoy it. It makes me sad because I feel like you have to kind of give in to that. If you can't beat them, join them. That's even more egregious with music. Nowadays, all music just sounds the same to me. It feels like everyone's just trying to find the next catchiest beat or something, and it doesn't feel like music back then. Of course, if you lived back in the days, from 2000 to 2010, we were just ridden, or what's the right word? We're riddled, right? Yeah, we were riddled with love songs. Every song that every artist made was about their ex-girlfriend or ex-boyfriend. Whole Taylor Swift's entire warpath of every time she got dumped by her ex-boyfriend or whatever, she would make a song about it. And, people made fun of the fact that the 2000s and 2010 was just hopeless love songs, but at least, in my opinion, it felt like there was a lot more purpose behind those songs. It felt like there was a lot more heart and soul behind it. And it makes me sad because we went from people just talking about how much they miss their exes or how much they love their current boyfriend or something like that, or girlfriend, and now it's just whatever is the catchiest rhythm or catchiest beat you would hear in a rave. I'm a huge music lover. Also, my sister is too. She's a music major. In fact, she's studying music education as her career. So my family, we're really into music. And people ask me, what kind of music do you listen to? Wow, this is a really stacked bag. I always say whatever sounds nice, because if you guys ever watch my streams, I play a bunch of different songs from my iTunes playlist, and you can't really nail down a specific genre of what I play. You just kind of have to it's all whatever sounds good at that current point in time. But because of how significant music is to me, because for me, music is not only just a source of entertainment, but it also is a way for me to store my memories, because my playlist has been built over the course of several years, almost a decade at this point. I started my iTunes library back in 2011, back when I was able to finally have my first iPod. the songs that I save over the course of that time, especially recently, they don't feel as memorable to me as the ones from 2011, 2012, 2013. That doesn't apply for all of them. There are still some songs that I find nowadays that are, real bangers and I listen to them all the time. But the amount of sentimental value that each one contains is starting to dwindle over time for me, and makes me sad because I don't know if that's just the way music culture is changing or if that's how I'm changing. I actually don't remember what white bag this was or what chest this was, but we're gonna find out. Okay, it's a potato. You know what? I'll take it. At least it's not a kala sword. Goodness gracious. Maybe I'm just reading too deep into this and I might be the only one who actually feels this sort of sentimental attachment towards the past. I don't think I'm that alone in thinking that things just meant more back then than they do now. Everything nowadays just feels like there's an ulterior motive or something other than... I feel like everything's just lost the purity. If that makes sense, like the genuine intent and I guess the authenticity of things is not as clear as it used to be back then. Oh well. I mean, it's just one of those things that we're gonna have to deal with as we get older and older and older, and I've talked to a lot of my older friends about it because I have quite a few friends who are in their 30s and 40s and stuff like that because, that's one cool thing about video games. You get to approach and know a lot of people from all sorts of cultures, all sorts of backgrounds, and it doesn't matter what age you are online because the only thing that people really know about is just what kind of conversations you have. So I guess I want to know what you guys think as well, because I know all of us are going through a lot of different changes, especially because so many different things happen every year now. I feel bad for whoever has to learn history in the 21st century because it feels like every year can fill up an entire textbook in terms of a bunch of things happening, what with social media. So whatever, I mean, that's food for thought. That's the whole point of these episodes. We had a great haul this time around. Let's see. 2 pyramid rings, we got a requiem, we got a sphinx, we got the new, what is it called? The new Magatama. We had the potato, just awesome. Like, we just got a bunch of good stuff. And the tier 13 staff, I needed another one of those too. So, wow, this was a very, very awesome chest opening video now that I think about it. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have, a rating would be much appreciated. And stay tuned for more quest chest popping videos. I will continue doing them for as long as I live, especially now because I've died on, I think, almost 20 characters. At this point, my roster is starting to fall down a little bit, so I have to remax a bunch of my characters, but I still have a good supply of them. I just am missing all the classes that I used a lot in 03, like priests and paladins and stuff like that, and they're not exactly the easiest to max. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to see you again soon in the next episode. Take care.